So let me start recording. Okay, so first of all, this is a week 2, right? So last week is week 1. So if you look at the syllabus, like content on the module 1 folder, and you see that we have module at a glance, and we have chapter 1 content, which is a PowerPoint. And the homework assignment for module 1, if you look at that, it tells you all you need to do is you finish reading the book, and take the test. So hopefully you all finish the quiz on the first quiz. Okay, it's also part of your grades. It's an open book test, which means you can look, go to the book to find answers. So you can try as many times as you want. Only the highest grade will count. And also follow the instruction on module 1 to complete sample exam, sample program. So if you go back to the module 1, you will see we have start a VB. This is a video to show you how you open the VB program, just in case you missed last class. Our sample project is this one. First, Visual Basic Program PDF. So this is sample program. Also, if you have time, you can do part 2. Part 2 here, which means declare variables. Show you like instead of use a text box, you can use variables to pass the value. Okay, so you can use this one. Now, the sample project will be due this weekend. I think this is Saturday. Okay, so last class we did maybe like half or one third of this sample project, right? So our sample project is to write a calculator. Okay, so far I have received 3 people's calculators. Okay, which all excellent work. So you have you input two numbers, then you have a result, and you can do input. Addition, subtraction, right? You can do that. So we have some videos you can watch. So this is one video you can watch. This is another video you can watch. So by watching the videos, you can also do the sample exam. Sample project. So you can either read the PDF file or just watch these videos, and you're gonna do the sample project. So in the end, you will have something look like this. Okay, this is one of students' homework. Okay. And now also you can change a little bit. Okay, like I think one of our students did an excellent job. Okay, he changed a little bit. You see here, he changed the color, background color and everything. So you don't have to really just do the simple project. You can just add your own content. Okay, so they have videos you can watch, and this is submitted the sample project, and it will be due this Friday. That's this Saturday, 11:59 p.m. Okay, so by Saturday you're gonna have to complete everything. Okay, if you give me the next day, I will start to take points from you. Like I said, each late week will be 15-point deduction. If you ask, what if you have 1 day late or 2 days late or 3 days late? Just if you're late 1 day late, 1/7 times 15. 2 days late, 2/7 times 15. 3 days late, 3/7 times 15. So please hand in homework on time. Okay, if you hand in homework on time, then if anything's wrong, then you can fix it. And so far, people give me the homework, they all did a very, very good job. So it's not, just in case, if you need some kind of modification, you can give to me as soon as possible. Okay. So this is the sample project you're gonna do this Saturday. And also, last week we do have 2 classes. This is class 1, this is class 2. So please, this is each one of this like almost 1 hour 30 minutes. So I hope you guys, if you missed last week class, for those of you who registered late, so if you miss these classes, so this is a class for you. So please spend some time to watch the video, so it will help you get an idea. Okay, hopefully we all can stay together until the end of semester, and we can accomplish this whole Visual Basic. As I mentioned before, now if you want to run Visual Basic, then you're gonna have to install Visual Studio, right? And in order to install Visual Studio, you have to have Windows system. Okay, you cannot run Mac. You're gonna have to have Windows system. I think I mentioned to you last time. Okay, so you can either get a Windows laptop from school. School does have a computer or laptop lending program, so you can apply there, and if they have actual computers, they can lend to you, so you can use it in the semester. If you cannot lend the computer from school, then just you have to install a Windows computer in your Mac, which is doable. So last time I told you guys, you search on YouTube, you're gonna find thousands of videos to teach you how to install Windows into your Mac, because it is very common that a computer science student need a Windows system in their computer. It is very common, okay? Because everybody like Mac, and if you can afford a Mac, and you just go buy one, right? But the things like, if you try to learn computer science, you do need a Windows system. So it's very, very common. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Even if you have Mac computer, so you just go to the YouTube, and you have tons of video to help you to guide you step by step, because you gotta have to have Windows to install Visual Basic. Without Windows, you cannot have Visual Studio. You cannot run Visual Basic. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, it is a common issue. Okay, if you go to if you have a job, you really have, most likely your company will give you a Windows computer. So sooner or later, you're gonna have to deal with Windows. Now the next one is Module 2. Okay, Module 2, Chapter 2. Okay, so Module 2, starting from Module 2, we just do the lattice selection. Okay, so you can see if you click the module at a glance, as you can see here, open and close this Visual Studio 2017 and create a Visual Studio Visual Basic 2017 application project. Actually, we did some of them last class, right? So we know we can do that, and we can also name a title, set a title bar text. Okay, and we can resize the project, etc. This is all the kind of like this week objective. After Wednesday class, we will be able to do those. Okay, we're gonna know how to add a picture box, how to add a button, how to adjust the format, etc. So that's after this Wednesday class. We're gonna even maybe next Monday class we're gonna finish, because we are going to use 2 or 3 weeks to finish chapter 1, chapter 2 and 3 together. Okay. So you need to read chapter 2 and follow instructions for creating a form. Then we take the quiz. Don't worry, don't forget, we have to take the quiz. Quiz 2 will be due soon. So if you check, there's a quiz 2 is due February 12th. Okay. So actually I plan to have everything finished by next week. But if you can finish earlier, that's even better. I think I mentioned to you before, I'm going to mention again. Chapter 2 and chapter 3 are the same projects. Okay, chapter 2 and chapter 3 is the same project. So chapter 2, we just design the format. Then chapter 3, we add the code inside. So all of them, all the quizzes are open book. So you can see here, after we finish chapter 2, you're not required to submit your homework, because chapter module 2 is only the week. Okay, and don't forget, when we do the project at a class, you still have to pick up a case at the end of the book to do that. Okay, if you go back to the page. So if you go to the end of the chapter 2, now you will see we do have VR headset, case 1, and we do have See, this is their headset. And we have burger specials. Then we have, this is one. And we have Camp Music Cafe. Okay, and the spring break travel specials. So you still need to do that all by yourself. Okay, you're gonna have to do those yourself and use the knowledge we learned in chapter 2. But all of them will be due after we finish chapter 3. Okay, because these cases are the same cases of chapter 3. And all you need to do is you do the code. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to close this one. I'll close this one also. So this is supposed to be the final version of our latte selection, which is after we finish chapter 3. Now we will have this beautiful latte selections. And you can see if I double click, it let me go to the code. And as you have coding it, all this coding we're gonna type. Okay, so this is a latte selection. We modify the properties of each icon, like a button pictures, to kind of design event-driven GUI, right? So this is like at the end of chapter 3. Chapter 3 is only, it's like do the coding and add a picture inside. But for chapter 2, after you finish chapter 2, after we finish chapter 2, this is what we have. Okay, as you can see here, nothing inside because we did not do the coding yet. So if I click, it's nothing inside. So this is what we have. So we're gonna spend 2 or 3 classes just to create a user interface looking like this. Okay, so the images, the codings will be done on chapter 3. So this is like we just kind of slow down to let you understand Visual Basic. Then after chapter 4, chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, then every chapter you're gonna do the image and user interface and the coding together in the same chapter. Only at the beginning of this semester, because we want you to learn how it works. Okay, so this week we have no homework due. Okay, this week we do have homework due. This week we'll do the sample project, which some people finish already. So if you haven't finished the calculator yet, do it so. Okay, so at the end of chapter 2, we're gonna do this. So let's see how we do that. Okay, I'm gonna close this file. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna close another one. Okay, I'm gonna close all my Visual Studio. Okay, I'm gonna close all of this. So we can start from the beginning. So let's start our Visual Studio. Okay, click the Start menu and find our Visual Studio. So I still have Visual Studio 2017. I'm gonna upgrade soon. So this is one we have. So you can see this is what we have. So if I start Visual Studio, this is what I have. Now, we're going to create a new project. Last time I showed you, we can do 2 ways, right? The first way is we click New Project, and we can choose the most recent template. And if you have done the Calculate project, you have the recent project template, which is this one. So you can just select from here. If you have not done any project yet, then you can do the second way, which is traditional way. Go to the top, File. Go to New Project. You click that. Now it will pop up this window, right? Now you pop up this window, and you're gonna choose under the VB Windows Desktop, Windows Form App, and you give a name. Okay, the name should not be like a Windows App 2. That's like a by default. The system will provide a name. Now we're not going to use this name. The name we're going to use is latte selection. So we're going to type latte selection. Latte selection. Okay, so this is the one we have. Now, last time I mentioned to you, you can modify the location. You can see where the system saved the work. Okay, it is very, very important. If you don't know where is your file, you cannot zip the file. So I think last time I showed you, I create a folder on my desktop and I saved my project there. So I'm gonna click browse. You can try to find, you should have some folders yourself too. On my Spring 2022, I have CSV 125. As you can see here, I already have a simple calculator right there. It's from last class. So I'm gonna select folder. So you can see this is my path. So my project should be there. I click OK. So after I have LaTeX selection, I browse my computer and just find a location where I want to save it. Now, if you don't want to browse anything, if you don't want to save on a different location, that's fine. But you're gonna know where you save your file, because later on we have to go back to that folder and zip the whole thing. Because I do see some people have very hard time to zip everything and give to me. Okay, so you can see I click OK. So you take time to create an empty project. Also, now if I go back to my desktop, if I go to my desktop, so on my Spring 2022, I have the folder here, right? And this is the LaTeX selection. This is the one I'm supposed to have. And later on, in the future, once I finish this, once I finish my chapter 3, I need to submit homework, right? How can I submit homework? You can find a location and you don't need to go inside. Do not go inside. Just right click your mouse and click somewhere like where is it? Send to compress folder. Okay, so if you did not install an WinRAR or WinZip, any zip software, then you can just use the system tool to help you. Okay, from my experience, the system tool is much better than WinZip or WinRAR, because those are just like a maybe 30 days free trial. After 30 days, they have tons of ads. So it was just kind of annoying. So I installed WinRAR and WinZip several times, but every time I use several days, it just uninstall that because it's too bad. It's too many ads. So I go back to the the system tool. So I just use the compressed folder. Okay, it is much easier. Yeah. Okay. So as long as you 7-zip, you can use as long as you can zip everything, all the folder from outside and give to me, that's fine. So once I unzip it, you see what's inside? I should have LaTeX selection and LaTeX selection.slm. Now, one of the common mistakes is people give me just .slm. If you only give me .slm, I cannot open. Okay, that is why last time I mentioned to you how to zip the file. This time I have to mention you again. It is very important to know where you save your file. Okay, then you go to the folder. Instead of going inside to zip it, you have to go, from the outside, just directly zip the whole folder. Okay. So all three of you who give me the sample project doing very, very good. So you remember that is how you submit your homework. Okay. So every semester I do have students struggles how to submit your project. Okay. That is the way you have to, submit the homework. Okay. Like, if I finish my a simple calculator, I just click this and go to send to compress folder, and it give me a zip file. And I'm just going to, this is the zip file I have. I right click my mouse and send to zip file. So later on, you're gonna give me the zip file. So this is how you create the zip file. Okay. So you see, not difficult. I'm gonna just delete. Now back to here. So you have this empty VB project, right? So now we are in page 30 on the book. Okay, page 30. Create a project, and later shows you a toolbox. Now, if you open the project on your right side, on your left side, now on your left side, now you are going to see a toolbox right here, a toolbox. Okay, now this toolbox contains all the tools we need, like the most common one, the button, the label, right? Last time we used the label, and also the text box, right? Last time we used the text box. So those are the things we often use. And also on the right side, you see the Solution Explorer. Now in the Solution Explorer, this project will show you my project, reference, and form 1. So later I'm going to change the name. So this is the Solution Explorer. On the right bottom corner here, this is properties. So far we only have form 1. We did not add any tools yet, right? We did not add a button, anything yet. So this is a blank form. So right now it is form 1.vb, and it shows you form 1 is the name, and we have properties. So here, if I click this, the first icon right here, it's categorized. So we categorize each properties, as you can see here. So accessibility, appearance, that's a category, behavior category, and we have a data category, design category, and we have a focus category. So this is a appear in category. The next one, second one, is alphabetic. So if you click this one, all your properties will display as, alphabetic order. Okay, like a name, form 1, and auto scale mode, font, all of this. See here, auto size. Can you auto size? You can change from false to true, depends on the question tell you. And you can modify the back color. You can modify background image, so you're gonna add images. So the next project, which is the bike rental, you're gonna add the background image. For this one, we don't need any background image. We have a background layout, we have cancel button, etc. And we can modify our control box, cursor, we can double buffer, etc. So it depends on what you like. So if you prefer to have the properties of each one be alphabetic, you use this one, or you can use a categorize. So either way, it's fine. And this one called the properties, like nothing happens. So basically, it's up to you which one you like. The first two icons. The third icon is properties. The fourth one is event. So we don't do anything about it. Okay. So only the first two you choose, or you just leave like that. Okay. By default, you choose the first part. All the properties will lay out based on the categorized. Okay. Same idea. Whatever good for you. Okay. So we have two boxes here. Okay, so we always need to have two boxes on our right side. I'm sorry, left side. Okay, if you click view, you're gonna see you have code, design, open, solution explorer, team explorer, server explorer, and all of this. So you have some kind of like, if you don't see the toolbox, so you can go to the view section and take out the toolbox. Okay, because it is important. And if you don't have Solution Explorer, you go to the view and go open the Solution Explorer. So a property window is from here. So if you don't see those three windows, if you don't see the toolbox on the left, the Solution Explorer and the property on the right, you can go to the view part on the top. You can go to the view part to take it out. So hopefully everybody have the toolbox on the left and then the other two on the right. So we can start to do our thing. Okay, so we have this toolbox open here. Now, so we finished actually page 33 and 34. Then now we see our form. So this is our form. We select form and then we can click view on the menu bar and just see that is menu bar here. So it tells you, okay, so this is how you're gonna view this project. But the first thing we do is we're gonna change the name. Because normally by default, if you create a empty VB project, your VB project always have this system design name, system assign name, form1.vb. But for our project, I don't want to see any form1.vb. Okay, I hope you don't have any form1.vb in your code. Okay, even for the simple calculator. Now, if you have form1.vb, that's fine. But if you do the LaTeX project and in the future other project, you're gonna have to know how to change the name. I think last time I showed you, very easy. Okay, click the right, use you can see your mouse has two sides, right? It was see your mouse here on your left side. Okay, you click, first of all, you click on the left side to select that. Then you click on the right button of your mouse. Okay, click the right button of your mouse. Now it will pop up this window and you choose rename. So it allows you to rename the form. Okay, again, for Visual Basic project, the first thing we do is we design our user interface. Now, once our user interface is done, we can add code inside. Okay, so we click rename. So we can type a name. So I'm going to type FRM, lowercase. Okay, in the future, all the forms name will start with FRM. Now if we have buttons, it's always start like a BTN or something else. But so every tool, like a label box, a label, text box, button, they all have their name. Okay, they have, by default, I'm gonna, by default, like a to be a user friendly. You always want this name start with this certain letter to tell user, okay, what is this for? FRM, that is a form. FRM LaTeX selection. Okay, lowercase r FRM, then LaTeX selection. The L and S should be uppercase. So I type that. I click enter. It tells you pop-up window says you are renaming a file. Would you also like to perform a rename in this project of all reference to the code element form1? You click yes. Okay. So now I have a form LaTeX selection. Okay. If I do that, as you can see, my property part, form LaTeX selection is a property. Now I go to the name, file name. Okay, if I want, I can check. Okay, so this is a file name. Okay, right here. So you can see this text property, everything right here. Okay, okay. Okay, form LaTeX selection. Okay, because when I modify the name, I click yes to make everything change as a form LaTeX selection. Okay, that is what we have so far. The next thing we do is we're going to do the step on page 35. If you have a textbook, you find out in the textbook, it provides every single details. So as I mentioned to you before, this class is very much like the CSP 101. It provides you detailed steps. So all you're going to do is follow every single detailed step on the book, and you should be fine. Okay, so let's see. Tells you click the Windows form object. Click this one and scroll the property window until you find text property, because you want to change it like the text bar here, because right now it's displayed as form 1, right? So we want to have something different. So we go to the text bar. Instead of form 1, we don't want form 1. We want a different name. Okay, so we can click form 1 and type LaTeX selection. Okay, LaTeX selection. So if I type this on my title of the form, will display as LaTeX selection instead of form 1. Keep in mind, this form 1 is a system design. Say system defined. It just automatically assign you this name. Form 1, form 2, form 3. So LaTeX selection. You click that. You click Enter key. Okay. You see here, LaTeX selection. Okay. So when you modify the property on the right bottom corner, the property text, it will be here. Okay. Don't worry, Aiden. Yeah. So you have this one. You change the text property of your form. Okay, so you can see that is how you change the display of this title here. Okay, this is LaTeX selection. Now once we finish it, we finish the text. We want to resize our window. We want to make sure this window be certain size instead of random. So you can see here under the property, because I make it like I make the property display as alphabetic order. So I have the size right here. So by default, as you can see, the size is 818,497. That is by default. Now we don't want this. We want to change our size to a different size. So we type the size will be 730, 700. Then you press enter. You see what happened? The window automatically changed. The window size automatically changed. Okay. So far, I have done 3 things. The first thing is I click my mouse and I click rename. I change the name as SRM LaTeX selection.bb. Now after I change that, I select the form. Once I select form, I will modify the text property from text 1 to LaTeX selection. Then I change the size from 730 to 700. Okay, so that is the 3 things we did. Okay, any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we have done this 3 part. Now we're gonna add our tools from toolbox. The first thing we do is we're gonna add a label, okay, which is the title in the set. We're gonna make it the center. But if you have any question, you can stop me. And by the way, I think we're gonna go back to campus sometime. I mean, not sometime, next Monday. So I will see you guys in class. So because I see today only 1 people open the camera. Only Peter open the camera. Everybody else like turn off the camera. I don't even know whether you're in front of the computer or not. But anyway, next Monday, 11 o'clock, I will see you guys in room 8173, I think. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay, so we're gonna have our label as a, the label, the use of label is we use label to display something, right? Like we use a label to display number 1, number 2, answers in our calculator. So here we're gonna use this label to display the title. So go to the toolbox. Toolbox is also like almost the alphabetic order. So I go to the L label right here. So I'm gonna drag it right here. So this is label 1. So I drag this label from toolbox and move to my form. So this is my label 1. Right, this is my label 1. As you can see, it is quite small, right? So we're gonna have to modify. So in the next few steps, we're gonna modify this label 1. Okay, just find the label and drag it on your screen. So that is how you do. Very easy. Now, once we add labels, as you can see on my right bottom corner, you see my label 1 is selected. So label 1 form dot labels, right? So we're gonna have the text, which is label 1, and we have the, what you say, the size, location, where it's located, and the font, etc. So we're going to modify those to make the display as what? As, let me show you. So, oh, I think I closed the other project, so you won't be able to see that. So anyway, so we have the label here. Okay, we're gonna have this. We have this label. Click the label. You click the label, then label property will display. Okay, you click the label, then label property display here. Now we're gonna have modify the name. First of all, we change the name. Okay, we go to the name property. Okay, I'm gonna have to make it. Where's the name? Right here. Okay, so as you can see, the name is label 1. Okay, by default, the system assigns name label 1. This is not what we want. So we can click this, double click. Okay, double click, select that. We can type the new name because it's a label. So label start with LBL, lowercase LBL. So if you see LBL, you know that will be a label. Okay, then heading, label heading, LBL application H EADING. Okay, so this is the name. We're gonna change the name. Instead of label 1, we make it LBL. So you can see FRM is for form, LBL is for label. Okay, now BTN is for button. So every tool has this like a suggested prefix. You can think like the prefix, right? Like, so we have that. We change the name. The next thing is we're gonna change the text. Okay, where do you know? If I want to, you know, it display different text. You know what do? You go to the text property, right? Just like your form. If you modify the text from form 1 to LaTeX selection, you go to what? Go to the text property. Same idea. If you want to label 1 to display something else, you go to the text property. You scroll down, you see the text property right here. See here, it shows you label 1, which is not what we want. You can double click or highlight, whatever you do, double click. You can type LaTeX space selection. Okay, LaTeX selection. So whatever you want to display will always on this tool's text property. Okay, so we have that. Now we press enter. As you can see, once I click enter, it automatically becomes LaTeX selection. Right? So I'll give you minutes to do so. Any question, guys? So you know, every time if we want to like a change name or modify name, so each tool has its own, each kind of tool has its own prefix. FRM, form, LBL, label. Okay, and if you want to modify the text, you go to the text property to modify what you want to display. The next one is we're gonna have to with the label object selected, click text property name on the left property and click the arrow. So we're gonna go click the arrow, so you can see here. This is a LaTeX selection. Now in the future, if you want to have multiple lines, you can do that from here. But now we don't need, because we only need one line. Okay, but you know, this is like in the future, if you want to have multiple lines, now this is how you type. But we don't need any multiple lines. This is just single line. So after we have text, we're gonna modify the font and size, right? Because we want our title be bigger and larger, right? So we're gonna go to the font right here. So as you can see here, my font is a Microsoft Sans Serif 7.8 point. That is like by default. It's always like this font. That is not what we want because it's so small, right? So we click that. It will pop you this window. Did you see that? Did you see the screen I have? The little small window? So you're gonna see, choose the different font. You're gonna choose Tahoma, T-A-H-O-M-A. T. I'm gonna just type T. Yeah. You know, no matter you use in Word or any other text editing program, even including the Microsoft, Visual Studio. In order to find certain font, you can just type the first letter. It will pop up choices. Okay, so you choose Tahoma font, and you make it bold, right? Because it's title, so of course you want to be, make it like a stronger to see, and you want the size to be 16 instead of 8. So the size, the font will be like this: Tahoma bold 16. So I'll give you a minute to do so. Now, once you fix all these parameters, you click OK. So you can see, basically, on the whole chapter 2, we just handle the user interface. Now, if you have any question, please let me know, okay? If you have any question, if you want me to repeat some steps, just let me know. So we have this font change. Next one, we will just, we click that, we click OK. So this is a latte selection. As you can see, it's become much bigger, right? That is my title. Now, the next thing is we are going to center it. How do we center it? Click this label, make the label selected. Then we go to format on the top of the ribbon. See here, format, right here. Click the format. Now you click format. Now it will pop up this little pop-up menu. Right? And you're gonna choose center in form. And you're gonna choose horizontal. So you can see you have two choices for the center in form, horizontally and vertically. Which one you choose? Horizontally. See here, that is like in the center. Again, format, center, then horizontal. Okay, so that is the way you center this little label. Any question? So we are done with this label. So we're going to do the next part to add the picture. So we have 2 images later, right? So supposedly for the latte selection, you have a pumpkin latte, you have the other mocha latte. So you click the button, one image will show up, right? Corresponding image show up. That is your project. So once we center the latte selection, we're gonna add 2 image boxes here. So let's do the next, add image boxes. So go to the toolbox. Let's look at toolbox. Do we have any tool called picture box? Yes, we do. This one, picture box. So later on, we're gonna add images to let a picture box to display our image. So we drag this picture box and release right here. Okay. Then we can do another one. Or if you want, you can just duplicate. Click this and hold the Control key and then click, you know what, just we can duplicate this one, or you can just do another one. Just drag another picture box, which is easier probably. Drag another picture box right here, because you need 2 picture boxes, one for pumpkin image, one for mocha image. So you add 2 picture box. Okay, so picture box 1, picture box 2. So if you click this, so see picture box 1, and then this one is a picture box 2. of course, you're going to rename it. It tells you once you have these two images, you can resize it same time. So you can see I can click the first one, I can drag it, make it size like this. Then I can hold Control key, use my one hand hold Control key, and use another hand just drag it. See here, you can drag it. Okay, sorry, we're gonna have to do it like same time. Okay, so select this one, hold Control key, select this one, then just drag at the same time. Okay. Something like that. So later on, later on you can make it resize. If you don't want to use Control key to kind of group factors same time, you can just resize the left one. Later on, when you can use the format button to just like make same size, you can do that later on. Okay. But let's say, so you add two image box, you add two picture box on your form. So you can click the format. Okay, so click this one, hold the Control key, select this one, then go to the format, go to make same size, and we're gonna make both height and width the same size. Okay. So again, how did I do that? I click the left side, then I use the one hand to hold Control key, use another hand, click the second one. So by doing so, we kind of group format the both of them together. So after you select those, hold Control key, and then now you can release the Control key. Then go to format, go to make same size, go to both. So it will make your two picture box the same size. Okay. So same size, so it's the same size. Now with the left side and right picture box selected, now we can click format and we can align them together, like align them with this, like a top and the bottom. Okay, now we're gonna align them in the bottom. Actually, they already a kind of line, which means like the same top level and same bottom level already. But just make sure it's in the same level. So you go to the format, format align to the bottom. So by doing so, just make sure these two picture box are the same size and in the same level. Okay. Now with those both image box picture box still selected, now we're gonna still click the format and point to center in the form, and then we choose horizontal. So now we want to make it appear in the center. So still, when this two picture box selected, we click center in form and click horizontal. So as you can see, basically so far we did three steps on these two images. First step, after you hold, you click the left one, then you hold Control key, select the other one. By doing so, you kind of group these two together. Then you go to format. First of all, you make same size both, right? Then you go to align, you make it bottom align. Then you go to the center, you make it horizontal. So by doing so, you can kind of have these two picture box in the same level and same size. So now your picture box is ready. Okay. Of course, later on, you're gonna adjust again because right now we don't have image yet. So, and also it didn't really tell you exactly what size it is, right? It didn't tell you like exactly what size it is. So you're gonna figure out later. So we're gonna have to modify this later in chapter 3. Now we have this one. The next part is we're gonna add more tools. So we're gonna add buttons here. We're gonna add like an add button project. Okay, button project, basically, if you click button, something will happen, right? It's event driven. So if you click button, something will happen. Now we're gonna have some buttons right here. Actually, I think 5 buttons we should add. Let's add the first button. Okay, we click, go to the tool, here in the toolbox. This is my button. All I have to do is I'm going to drag and put it here. So this is a button 1. I kind of added. Okay. Just drag it. This is button 1. Okay, the first button. Okay. Now with the button the object selected, we can scroll down the property and we can modify the property right here. Okay, so for the picture box, the property will be modified when we add images or later. Now we need to modify the properties of my button 1. Okay, so with the button object selected, we go to the properties and we go to text value because we, instead of button 1, we want to have the different text, right? So here, see, the text property define you what kind of letter or words you want to display on your user interface. So I'm going to type pumpkin spice. So you see, I'm making my properties appear as alphabetic order. So it's easier for me to find the text property of my button. So I find the text property, I just modify as pumpkin spice right here. Okay. Now it tells you, you can resize it. As you can see, once I change my text as a pumpkin spice, my button only show pumpkin. I don't see my spice, right? So I'm gonna move my cursor in the corner and we drag it, okay, to make sure the whole pumpkin spice, these 2 words will display. Okay, so this is pumpkin spice. But don't worry, later on we're gonna have to resize it again. Okay, we want to make sure every single letter on this button will be displayed. Any question, guys? Okay, so we have a pumpkin spice. The next one, of course, I'm gonna add the one for mocha, right? So go to the toolbox and we drag to here. This is button 2, right? It automatically tell you that is the button 2. Now we're gonna have to change the name. This name we're gonna align horizontally. So how do I align? Click pumpkin spice. Hold Control key, select this one, and let's see. Go to format. We'll make it the same size both. Okay, and we can just kind of make it, and also go to the format align button. Kind of like see the same level. Okay, pumpkin spice button 2. Okay, and you can even align object vertically, but you don't need to do that at this point. So we can change the name. Okay, we go to button 2 and we'll go to text. Instead of button 2, we're gonna modify the name as mocha. Okay, click here, the mocha appear. Okay, so this is the second kind of like second button. Now in the book, it has one extra step, tells you can align object vertically. So what you can do is you can deselect any of this, and we can drag this mocha underneath this to see here. When I drag it, this is like 2 blue lines show up. So it's kind of like they are just aligned together. Okay, when the blue line appear, it tells you they're aligned vertically. So, but later I'm gonna have to go back, okay, because we don't need our mocha to be under the pumpkin spice. We want the mocha to be the same size, okay? Because because the reason I make it like it's the same size. So I'm gonna drag it here. Okay, again, Control key, select this, make it the align button. Okay, I want to make sure they are aligned in the same level. So we have this one. Next part, so we're gonna do, what will we do next? We're gonna add more content. Okay, so actually, so we are on page 57, but on page 56, it didn't show us like anything. So what we should do is, we can, if you look at each, at the end of each chapter, you're gonna find the guided program development. So you can use that as a guide, detailed steps, because actually in the chapter 2, it did not really give you any detailed steps, just tell you, okay, how the principle of user interface design, how you do that. Okay, but the design principle, like for chapter, for page 61, you can learn those when you do the project. Like step 1, the most important principle to remember that user ability to operate a program effectively depends on the design of interface. So which means the interface is very, very important. The second one is, if user interface is not easy to use, the user will not be satisfied with. Of course, right? It is just common sense. So we let's do the project. So we did lattice selection, and they do resize the picture box. Actually, if you look at the book on page 68, okay, on the page 68, it does show you the picture box. If I click the picture box right here, in page 69, it does tells you the size. The picture box, you have to rename it and give you the size. So we can, okay, wait a second. So we can go to the click the picture box. Let's click the picture box, okay? Because the book didn't tell you, I mean, in the chapter, within the chapter, it didn't tell us the steps, but it provides you a detailed step at the end of this chapter, inside of a guided program development. So we're gonna use the guided program development from page 60, let's say 65 until page 73. Okay, actually 75 to complete everything. Now, so let's select the picture box. Now, when you have the picture box selected, now we're gonna name the first one. This first one, change this as a PIC pumpkin. So let's go to the name, top. So instead of a picture box 1, we're gonna name as PIC pumpkin. PIC pumpkin. So we change the name, PIC pumpkin. Okay, so this has a name instead of picture 1, picture 2. And then we go to the size. I'll give you a minute to do so. Okay. Picture pumpkin, change the name. The next part is you want to change the size. So you scroll down, you will see size. So by default, right now my size is 215 167. So it is too small. We want to change 300, 250. It's this size. As you can see, when I have this size change, everything will change. But don't worry, we're gonna modify later. Okay, it's easy. It can be easily fixed. So we can have 300, 250 as on my left side first picture box. So later I'm gonna add an image right here. The next one, as you know, we're gonna have to modify this one, right? First of all, you're gonna change the name. So instead of picture box 2, you go to the top of the property, double click, and you give a name as picture mockup, PIC mockup. Now you want to make the same size, right? You want to make the same size. So you can click this one, hold Control key, and you can go to the format, align. First of all, make them the same size, both the same size. So they are right now both same size. Now you go to here, align the bottom. So same size bottom. Well, I can change here. That means my mockup will change right here. You know what? I'm gonna change in the center. Okay. So you align the picture box horizontally, and then you can adjust the distance. Okay. So you can see here. If you want to adjust the distance between these two, you can select this and drag it. Drag what, because it didn't tell you exactly what is size between these two images. So you can, based on whatever you like to adjust. But so far, I think what I have is fine. So it's like this two. Then we can center the picture box. So still, we have to group it to center it. So I click the first one, hold Control key, select the other one. So they are treated as one group. So we go to format, and we click center the form, and we go to horizontally. We're going to center it horizontally. So far, these two picture box will display in the center. Okay. So we have the picture box of objects are all sized and located properly right here. Okay. So we can see, basically, this example tell you, you can resize these two boxes together. Or if you want, you can resize them separately. It's fine. So you can see that once I kind of group formatting, the second one, if I click the second one, I can click this, and the size will be, size also will be 300, 250, same size. So as you can see, how did I ungroup those two things? Quite easy. If I group them, I hold Control key, click this one. So right now it's grouped, right, as a team. But if I want to ungroup, all I have to do is I click anywhere to deselect this group. Then I can, individually process or format these two icons. So this is a Pick Pumpkin. This is Pick Mocha. Okay. Any question? Now we're going to add the 3 buttons. So we have add pumpkin spice. We have the milk mocha, and we're going to have another button right here. So drag it right here. There's button 3. Okay. We have pumpkin spice here, and we have mocha here. So we have another, we're going to add another icon here. This is button 3. And we can change the name later. Okay, I'm going to change the text. Go to the text part and change. We don't want to change like the, this. We're going to change select latte. Select latte. The text is a select latte. As you can see, if I click enter, the text automatically becomes select latte. And I want to make everything appear. So it will be like this, select latte. Now, if I want to change the name, because it's a button, so I will go to the name and change the name as BTN. BTN select. BTN select. So, okay. So, basically, if I have a form, my form name will start with FRM. If I have a label, LBL. If I have picture, it's PIC. Now, if I have a button, it's a BTN button. So you can see here, I change this icon name as BTN select, and I change the text as select latte. Now this one is, oh, I forgot to change the name. Okay, so for the pumpkin spice, I click pumpkin spice. I'm going to make it BTN. BTN, this is what's name. BTN pumpkin. So as you can see, the other one, my name should change to, the name will change to BTN mocha. Okay, bottom pumpkin. So the pumpkin spice, we did change the name of the text already, right? So the text is pumpkin spice. The name is BTN pumpkin. So later on, when we try to program our code, the name of this should be BTN pumpkin. Okay, so one of the mistakes some people did was they did not modify the name of the button. So the button still name as a, what do you say, button 1, but somehow when they do the coding, they refer this as button pumpkin, then they will have error mistakes. So you have to make sure you change the name. That is very important. Okay, so later on when we do the coding part, keep in mind this one name is button pumpkin. Okay, and this one name is button select, and this one name is, I'm going to change as button what, mocha, BTN mocha. Okay, so each of them has their own name and text. The text is see here. The text is mocha, right? Keep in mind, everything we see on our user interface are in the certain tools text property. Okay, so it's text property change. But at this point, you can see the size of my button are not the same, right? So what we can do is we can still use our control key to kind of group our button together. So click the first one, hold the control key, select this one, I go to format, I can align them. I mean, make them the same size first. I'm gonna make them the same size, and I'm gonna align them, bottom, and I'm gonna even like have the like a vertical space, horizontal space, go to the horizontal space, I can make them equal. See? So go to the format, horizontal spacing, make them equal, which means among these 3 buttons, each 2 buttons will have the same equal space in between. Okay, you can even increase, decrease. So you can increase together, or decrease together, etc. But it will be kind of like a format in the same group, and then I can make it a center. I mean, not center, definitely not, just like a line button, right? That same alignment and same size, then same horizontal space. Okay, so we have this 3 small icon right here. Any question, guys?
Nope.
Okay, so in also we can, if we want, we can always resize all 3 buttons together by using this control key. You know, every time if you use the control key, you can group, you know, the same tools together, right? You can use control key to group these 2 pictures together. You can use control key to group these 3 buttons together to kind of format. So I click, you know, if I want to deselect, to click anywhere to deselect. Okay. So next one, we're gonna center the bottom select. If you want to use to center this. Okay, if I go to page 72, actually you can see here, page 72 kind of give you every detailed step. Now to change button object size, okay, it already have some, you know, we don't have to do it because I think our size is perfect. We can resize, use the same technique you use to resize and size each of them same size. Now to center the bottom select object, so we can click this one and horizontally within the window, and we can select this, use a horizontal format, horizontal, then in the center, horizontally center it. But if you do that, as you can see, it's not the same space. Okay, so I'm gonna have to align them. Okay, so basically it tells you to, you know what, I'm gonna, after we center that, I want to group them and make them in this horizontal space. If I do so, are they still centered? It's just you can play with it to make it like the way you like. Okay. So far this is what we have. Now, if you want, I'm going to close this output window so you can see. I'm going to close this window. So you can see this is what we have so far. Now we can keep doing. The next part is we're going to add our label object. Now, what does the label object do? So you can see from this label, you get the idea. If I want to display some text on my form, I use label to help me. So I am going to add a label object. So label on the toolbox, I find the label right here. I drag it right here. Later on, we're gonna just adjust the space, locations. So we add a label object. As you can see, it automatically becomes label 1 because previously the label 1 we have different names. It's LBL heading, right? Instead of label 1. Now this one become label 1. Now, of course, we're gonna change the name. Now click the label 1, go to the properties, and we're gonna change the name. So you can see when I add a tool from toolbox, we're gonna have to change. We always have to change the name and the text. Okay, the name is like how we refer this in our coding area, and the text is like how we display what we display in the user interface. So here, use LBL instructions. So this name is LBL instruction. So LBL is a label. Okay, so labels is always started with prefix LBL. But you know, it is always for user-friendly coding style. So even if you don't use LBL, your code works just fine. But generally speaking, we always want to have a user-friendly code. So we have LBL instruction. Now, this is refer to the coding area. But what do we want to display? So we go to, we go to the next part, which is text property. So instead of label 1, double click. So we're going to change the property as choose a latte flavor, and then, sorry, it's a long one, right? Click select latte button. So click enter. Now you see here, that is everything we type. I'll give you a minute to type. Choose a latte flavor. And then click select latte button. As you can see, it's quite small. That means you're gonna have to change the font size. So I'll give you minutes to type it. Okay. Drink some water. So you see, when we design our user interface, now what we do is we add tools from toolbox, we modify its name, we modify each tool's name, we modify each text property, then we can use the format to adjust the size, right? Align bottom, make them same size, center the area, right? Center in the center, horizontally or center in the vertically. And also you can always group like several parts together, right? Several tools together by using the control key. You see, if I click pumpkin spice, then hold control key and select the other two. So all three of them will be the same group. You can like make them the same size. You can make them in the same level, right? Align bottom or line top, making them same level. So choose a latte flavor and then click select latte button. Now, after you finish typing, so we're going to move on to adjust the size. Go to the font section. So go to the font. As you can see, by default, is always this font. Okay, by default, the Vivi always provide this font. So I click this, it will pop up this window. It will be the same font, Tahama. Okay, so we just type T. Don't make choose this one. Okay, Tahama, and the font is regular, and the size should be 9. Make it a little bit bigger, and click OK. Okay. Okay. So once you select it, click OK. Okay. So I think today we can finish this user interface, and the next class on Wednesday. First of all, I probably give you like maybe like 40 minutes or so to let you do your VR project. Then we start chapter 3. Okay. Okay. So once you finish, you click OK. Oh, so it looks like this. Choose a latte flavor and then click that. Now this is the first label. So you see, you use labels to display messages. Next, we're going to add another label. Okay, first of all, I have to change it to make it in the center. So click this label, go to format, go to center inform, horizontal. Okay, I make it horizontal, make it horizontally. So click this, go to format, center inform, and the horizontal. Okay, so you can center the label. Okay, that is how you center the label. The next one, we're going to add our last label. Okay. Click, find the label again. Click a label and drag into our form. It's called label 1. On this one, we're going to change the name. So we have label 1 right here. See, every time you can see, if you modify the name, the system always like to call it label 1, label 2. So we're going to change the label 1 name as LBL confirmation. LBL confirmation. So later on, I can code this label to let it like display or not. See, how do I display or not? Visible. There's a property called visible. Okay. Truth, it display. False, it will disappear. If I do make it false, you won't be able to see that. So if I in the future we can say like a visible.false. Visible, sorry, LBL confirmation dot visible equals to false to make it hide this information. So anyway, LBL confirmation. Okay. Now after we change the name, we're gonna change the text. So go to the bottom. Go to the bottom. See TXT. Because I'm using the alphabetic order, so it will be easier for me to figure out where is my properties. So my text property is label 1. So I'm going to modify as enjoy your latte. Enjoy your latte selection. Enjoy your latte selection. If I click enter, it shows you enjoy your latte selection. Okay. Now we place this one in the center. How do we place them in the center? Click this label, go to format, go to center inform, go to horizontal. Okay, so it is the enjoy your latte selection. Did I change the font yet? So maybe I didn't. So I go to the font. I have to make sure every time I have a label, I always need to modify the font. Okay, so go to the label. I had to change the font to Tahama regular 9. So it looks like this. again. So I go to, now I change the font to Tahama 9 regular. Again, I'm going to show you one more time. Okay. On the font property, you can change the, what kind of font you use to display this string or this message. Okay, so this label here, okay, make sure it's centered. So how do you know that it is centered? Click this label, go to the format, go to the center in form, and go to horizontal. Make sure it's in the center. Now we have one more icon we need to add, which is button. So we have the exit button. I'll give you a minute. Any questions? If you have any question regarding to any step, I can show you how to do that.
I have a question, but it's not pertaining to the work that's going on right now. I looked, I think yesterday, at the module 2 thing, and there was nowhere to turn this in.
Okay, I think I mentioned to you multiple times, the chapter 3 and the chapter 2 are the same project.
Oh, you did. You mentioned that. Sorry, my bad.
Yes. So only after you finish chapter 3, you can submit your homework. So there's no homework due or nothing to the to submit after we finish chapter 2. Okay. Only after we finish chapter 3, we add images, we add coding, then the project will be complete. At this point, the project is not complete. Okay. So this is only for the first project. So the first project we separate into 2 chapters to cover it. After chapter 4, now every chapter cover 1 project. So for the chapter 4, you're gonna have to do the user interface and coding all at the same time. Okay, but only for the chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, latte selection is separate into 2 chapters to kind of like slowly introduce you how it works. Okay, so that's his idea. Okay, so you do not need to submit any homework regarding to, do not need to submit the latte selection right now because it's not done yet. Only after we finish chapter 3. So if you finish latte selection, this user interface, then you should spend some time to work on the case study. Okay, pick up a case from the 4 cases and do that. That is your homework. Okay, let's add another button. Okay, it's a good question actually. I want to remind you again. Okay, wait until you finish chapter 3. Then we will be handling the latte selection and VR. Or what, if you don't like VR, if you want to like challenge yourself, you can do the like a spring break something, or the international snacks, or you do the spring break travel special, or you can do the campus music cafe. Okay, you have time. You have quite a lot of time in front of you. As you can see, this VB class is quite easy, right? We'll just do it hands-on work. I see. So to be honest, this is not necessary to fit on campus. So that's the thing. Okay. I might have to apply to make this become stay remote, because we have like 20 students in the class and approximately 21 students in one classroom. Probably not very safe to our health. But, if they don't want us to skip remote, then we have to go back to school. We have to see each other face to face next week. Add a button object. So we have another button, which is exit. Okay. So in the future, you won't have always add an exit, right? You have an exit in your calculator. So you're gonna have an exit here. Button here. You just need to see how easy it is. Just drag and put it in your form. That is how easy to handle your user interface. Okay. I do hope some of you guys can pick up case 3, case 4, case 5 instead of case 1, case 2. Case 1, case 2, the VR and the burgers, they already provide you kind of like how to look your user interface. But for your case 3 and 5, probably you're gonna have to design your own yourself, the interface yourself. It's the same idea. Okay. So we have button 1 here. as you know. But after I add button 1, the first thing what I do is I'm going to change the name. Okay, name I should do is BTN exit. So which means if I do this, I'll just close the window. So BTN exit. And I will, so the name is BTN exit. The button, the prefix is BTN. BTN exit. Then I will change this, the text. Instead of button 1, I type exit window. Sorry. Exit window. Now you want to make this the button the same size of other ones. So how do you make them the same size? Quite easy. So just click this and hold Control key, select all the rest of this, and go to the format, make the same size both. It will be the same size. And click anywhere to deselect. Would it be possible to program the button to the X at the top right of the project? Possible to program that button to the X? What X?
Like the exit window button to like where it has like the minus button, like the window buttons up here.
So
on the
when you
top
have
right.
the later on when you do use exit, you just like close, don't close. I think you did this exit one in your calculator. If you have down calculator, just quite easy, just dot close. Just
Okay.
dot close. Yeah.
So like we wouldn't put it on the X on the top right. Like we wouldn't like be able to click the X on the gray part.
You can do so. You can do that also, but I see. You can, of course, you can just click at this one. But the thing is, when you run this code, you probably won't have this. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. You can, if you run this code, just click Start menu. You see here. Oh, you do have this. So you have, see here. This is one you're supposed to have. So if I click later on, after I select, after I click exit window, this whole will be closed. This whole thing will be closed. So far you can see, although we have finished our interface, but it cannot do anything. If I select pumpkin spice, nothing happens. If I click select latte, nothing happens. If I click mocha, nothing happens. It's because we have not do the coding yet. Okay, so in chapter 3, we're gonna add coding. So far, this is what you have. Oh, I forgot to center it. So click the, after I make them same size. You see what I did to make same size? I click the pumpkin spice. I hold Control key, select this one, select this one, select this one. So I select all 4 buttons. Then click format. I can make a size. Go to format, make same size both. So they will be the same size. Then I click anywhere to deselect my selections. So I can just click the exit window, then go to format, then center, horizontal, make it in the horizontal way. Okay. So it seems like my select latte is not horizontal. So I just can do this. If I center horizontal, select this, which means I'm going to make it my pumpkin spice a little bit to the left, something like this. Or if I want, I can just select Control key, hold this, and make them horizontal space, make them equal. Okay. So you can adjust this to make sure the select latte to be in the center. Okay. Click anywhere, exit. Okay, so we have this one. So this is kind of the user interface. We've almost finished. So next, the only thing we didn't do the user interface is 2 image, but then we're gonna add images on chapter 3. Okay, so you can save all here. This is save all button. So if I click that, we're gonna save the whole thing. You can click save button or you can select save all. Doesn't matter. Okay, I like to save all just to make sure everything's saved. And also, as you can see, how did I run the code? Very easy. You see right here, this is little red, green, little green small triangle start. So this is like a run, how you compile the program. Click this, your program will compile. And at this point, because we didn't put any coding yet, so nothing will happen. Okay, in order to make something happen, we're gonna add the code inside of this on the next part. Now on Wednesday class, as I said, I'm gonna give you a first 40 minutes to let you do your project in front of me. I will help you to choose, if you have any question, I can just help you, because everybody can choose the project by yourself. We have five cases. Okay, VR headset, case 1. Now case 2 is burger specials. Now case 3 is campus music cafe. Case 4 is spring break. Case 5 is international. Oh, actually you have 6 cases. Case 6 is custom shop. Oh, and seems like none of my students did this case 6 before. So which means if you do that, probably you kind of challenge you. Okay, so hopefully some of you guys are brave enough to challenge yourself to do the case 5 or 6. But I'm not going to force you to do anything. If you feel comfortable, just do the VR headsets. Just go ahead, do that. So I'm going to give you 45 minutes or around 45 minutes on Wednesday class to do that. Then we can start chapter 3. As you can see, VB is not difficult, right? So you can see when we do our user interface, we just drag our tools from the toolbox. Then we just modify the name, modify the text, right? Later on, even when you do the coding, basically you code according to the properties of each tool, like a button. If I click this button, then maybe I want to just make the image to be invisible, like dot visible equal to 4, something like that. So quite easy. Okay, nothing so difficult, but you do need to spend time to do your case now. Okay, so next Wednesday, so please start to, even if you want, you can start today after class. Okay, so both the LaTeX selection and your case will be due after we finish chapter 3. Okay, so that is all for today, guys. That is all for today. So if you have any question, you can stay here, ask me, or I will see you on Wednesday. And make sure you click save all. Okay, before you leave, save all. Save everything on the certain format, then we're done for today. Any question, guys? And also keep in mind, you need to do the quiz 2, and also do the calculator project. So I have received 2. I have received 3 projects. They are all excellent. I hope I'm gonna receive everybody's project by the end of this week. So that is all for today, guys. Thank you. So if you have questions,
have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.